What's up guys, my name is Axmist, and in today's video I'm going to teach you about TweenService. So, what is TweenService? Well, it's basically a service that can smoothly transition a property of an object to another property. So, if we have a part right here and we want to change the transparency from 0 to 1 smoothly, then without TweenService you could do something like this. Scripted parent transparency plus 0.1 or something. You could do that, and if we hit run, as you can see, it will kind of fade away, but you can make this way smoother using TweenService. So that's why it's really useful, and there's much more to it than just doing that. So let's start off by how you use TweenService. So if we go into here and we define, actually we can edit this, oh my bad, we can edit this code out, there we go. So basically we're going to get the TweenService by making a variable, and then I can show you guys how to use it. So you have your TweenService right here, and then how to make a tween. Well, a tween consists of 3 different things: the object that the tween is gonna affect, and you have the info, the TweenInfo, and the properties that's gonna change. So to make a tween, we're going to make a variable and call it tween, and then how you make a tween is do TweenService create, and now here in this brackets you're going to include all the information for the tween. So the first information that we're going to give the tween is the part we want to affect, or the object we want to affect, but in this case it's going to be a part. So and the script the parent, which is this part right here. Actually, I can make it a bit more apparent. So we're going to script local part is equal to script parent, and here we're going to put the part. And the next thing you're going to include in this brackets is something called TweenInfo. Now here's where things get really interesting. So in TweenInfo you have a bunch of different things. You have your tween duration, and you have your enum easing style, and you have your enum easing direction, and number repeat count, ball versus, and number delete time. Now what this means is basically the first one, pretty self-explanatory, the time the tween's going to take to complete, so the duration. And then here you have enum easing style. Basically the easing style is in what way the tween is going to happen. So before we explain all of these ones, we're going to showcase different easing styles. So yeah, basically here we have back, bound, circular, cubic, elastic, exponential, linear, quad, quint, sine, and that's all of the different tweening styles. So if you start off by bounds, it's a pretty apparent one, so that's going to be a good example, and we can put the tween time, I don't know, 4 seconds. And then we're going to move over to the properties. So what are the properties going to be of this part? Maybe we could change the part size or something. And then you actually do this. So normally while changing a property, for example the size of a part, you would do part.size is equal to vector3.new, I don't know, let's say 20, 20, 20. But this is not how you type in the properties for a tween. That's very different. So, or not very different. You have your table here, so the properties are changed in a table, and instead of doing parted size, you only have to do size, because you're already defining what part or what object you're going to change over here, and we have included our part. So that's how that works. So you can have many different properties in this empty table. So for example, we could do, you have to put these, and then you're good to go. So then we can type here positions equal to I don't know, vector3.new 0, 20, 0, something like that. Now we're changing the size and the position, and then if we down here do tween play, because we have made a variable for the tween right here. And also, yeah, so you don't have to include all of the configurations of TweenInfo. You only have to, if you don't change them, they're gonna just be at default, which works, which of course works out. So now if we hit run here, the tween should happen. Oh, my bad. We just had to move the part over here so we would actually notice the tween. Now if we hit run, as you can see it, oh actually that looks very laggy. Wait, let me put a simple wait right there so we have some time to actually react. So now the tween is going to happen like now, and there you go. Now that looked kind of strange, but if we, so basically what happened is that the tween, we have set the properties here for the tween, so in a span of 4 seconds these properties or the parts properties would equal to this, right? So if we can actually put a print here, tween started, and if we go into this part, then you can watch the properties change. So if you look here or there, as you can see that it looks like that, but in the end of the tween it always ends up on the properties that we put into the tween. Now as you can see, when we play this and the tween occurs, you can see that it kind of bounces. As you can see right there, it bounces, and that's because we have the easing style bounce, and we can change this. So we can change that to easing style linear, which is the most common one, I would assume, because linear, as you may already know, that would mean that it happens smoothly. And then you have a bunch of different ones, and I can actually show you guys on the dev forums. I'm just gonna show you guys the Tween Type sign too. It's much like linear, but it's a bit different in the end. As you can see, it kind of slows down as the tween progresses. I found a very good GIF on the developer roblox site, so I'm just gonna pop that on the screen right here, and then you can see the differences between the easing styles. So the next property you have is the enum, that easing direction, and you have these options for the tween. So you have in out, and you have out. Now this is really simple. The easing direction is the direction of the tween. So if I have in, actually I can make a better example. I can put in bounce there, and now we have the easing direction in. And if we look at this tween, as you can see, it bounced out like that. But if I have the easing direction, out, not off, and if we hit play, as you can see, it doesn't bounce in the beginning, it bounces in the end. So the tween's in reverse. So that's really simple. And in out is basically the two different styles merged, if that makes sense. So if I have in out, the bounce is gonna happen in the middle. Yeah, so yeah, I don't know, it's not too obvious, but that's basically how that works. But then we have number repeat counts, pretty self-explanatory. It's how many times the tween is going to repeat. Now I don't know if it's actually going to repeat twice because we have the other values not actually set. Okay, yeah, there we go. It did loop twice, and I think it loops 3 times because it does the loops and then does it again. And then you have bold reverses, and this is pretty simple too. So if we set that to true, as you can see, when it looped before, you had this it just cut, but as you can see now it doesn't cut because the tween reverses instead of just repeating, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. But it just looks way smoother, and as you can see, it looks kind of funny, it just bounces back and in. But yeah, so it reverses. Now I believe that was, yeah, so it repeated 3 times because it has the initial tween and then repeats it twice. So if we set that to not off, false, then of course it would just cut when the tween was completed, and if I had it set to repeat. So yeah, there we go. Then we have the last thing, and this is number delay time. and it's a value to delay the tween. And this could be really useful if you wanted a tween, for example, for a part to disappear. Not like you would fire this tween right as the part was created, but you would want it to tween like 5 seconds later. Then you could have a delay of 5 seconds here. And if we count 1, 2, or actually we have this wait, but if we count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and as you can see, it happened way later. But yeah, so that's just that delay for the tween. Now there are many different properties you can have in here. I don't know if you can tween the color. I don't think so. We could try. I've never actually tried that before. Let's do that. Brick colors equal to brick color dot new. I don't know, really blue or something. Let's do that. I don't think it's going to work. No. So some things can't be tweened. One of them is, of course, brick color, and color can't be tweened either. And of course, properties that is just on true or false, bold value can't be tweened either, because of course there wouldn't be anything to really tween because it's just a switch. But here you have all these different values. Now, of course, you can also stop a tween. So we can do this, right? So if we have wait 2, and then we can do tween cancel. So what that does is, normally, you know, when you play an animation, you have play and you have stop, but it's a bit different when it comes to tweening. So then you actually have cancel instead. So if we hit play, and when it says tween started, and that's gonna wait 3 seconds, and then tween, yeah, so the tween canceled. Now we didn't really get to see the tween because we canceled it too early. Oh, right, because we have this wait. I'm gonna turn that off. But basically now if we do something like that, we should be able to see that the tween got cancelled. Yeah, so it just froze mid-tween. So as you can see, these values right here are just completely not these values. So we basically can cancel the tween at any time. And then also a thing, if you want to be faster at making tweens, then you could make a variable for the TweenInfo. So you could do like local info is equal to TweenInfo. There you got that, and then you could just pass that as a variable right in there, and that will work. And of course you could do the same thing with this and so on. But I like to do this because it just makes it way easier to make tweens. And also, of course, you don't have to make it a variable. You could also, let's edit that, this. You could also make it like this, of course, so you have the play right there. But sometimes you can benefit from having it as a variable, because you can play it and tween it whenever you want. So I hope now you have a better understanding of tweens. Now, if you want to learn how to tween GUIs, that's a bit different actually. But I could show you guys how to do that in a future video. Let me know down below in the comment section what you guys want to see next. And yeah, my Discord is in the description. Please subscribe if you enjoyed and like the video. It would mean a lot. And yeah, that's about it. See you in the next one. Peace.